Join us for a pledge to our flag. I'm going to get a bit sappy, but that was pretty cool because we were like all on point. I mean, that sounded really, really good. So thank you all. I appreciate that. All right, we'll go ahead and go to 1.02, which is approval of the agenda.
Move to approve the agenda.
Second.
Perfect. A couple of seconds there and the motion is properly on the table. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Chair votes aye as well. Motion passes. 1.03 is input from the public. Is there any input from the public? This is a period devoted to comments by the general public, if any. In the interest of privacy and due process, the public is requested to not raise personnel issues except in a legally noticed closed personnel session of the board. Comments are limited to 3 consecutive minutes. The speaker's time may not be reserved, divided, apportioned, or deferred. No action may be taken upon a matter raised under the item on this agenda until the matter itself has been included specifically on an agenda as an item upon which action may be taken. Mr. Gavorski, Dr. Gavorski.
Thank you, members of the board. For the record, Scott Gavorski, and I rise today on behalf of the Elko County Republican Party, the Elko County Democrats, and the Independent American Party of Nevada. And if you're looking at me weird, that's because we're actually all coming together this Thursday to celebrate the U.S. Constitution's 238th anniversary. This is, of course, Constitution Week. We're going to be holding a joint panel discussion at the Elko Performing Arts Building starting at 6 o'clock this Thursday. Board President McCarty has agreed to moderate it, and we've reached out with your superintendent's permission to the various schools to ask the high school American history and American government classes to submit questions for us to debate and ask. I'm also very proud to say that Global One Media Talk Radio 107.7 FM will be covering the debate or the panel presentation live, right? So broadcasted, of course, they'll also be capturing it for their community conversation series. That's also going to allow those students who submitted the questions to actually hear our answers and maybe discuss them in the upcoming weeks. We're also looking at a possibility of doing a live stream. That's still being worked out, but we hope everybody will be able to join us. We're really looking forward to the event. All the parties are very, very excited, and we really think it'll be a good focal point for this community to celebrate the Constitution. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Gavorski. Any further public comment? All right, seeing none, then we will go to 1.04, introduction of our ECSD student board member, Trustee Dastrup.
I'm happy to introduce Lyka Vargas Samar. She is a senior at Elko High School with a distinguished record of involvement in school activities. Throughout her high school career, she has participated in a diverse range of extracurriculars, including band, graphic design, pottery, Key Club, HOSA, the National Honor Society, and track and field. Among her pursuits, her 4-year tenure in the band has been particularly transformative. After beginning on the alto saxophone, she transitioned to the clarinet and has served as a drum major for the past 2 years. Looking to the future, Ms. Samar plans to attend college and pursue a career in pediatric dentistry. She's considering the University of Nevada, Reno for her undergraduate studies, but remains open to all opportunities. Her professional ambition is driven by a desire to serve her community by making quality dental care more accessible. Welcome. We are glad to have you here with us.
Thank you very much. Ms. Samar, you are welcome to say anything, though there's certainly not a need to do so. So if you would like to say anything, you're welcome to. And you're also going to be able to have the opportunity to raise any points that you would like to raise when we get to board matters as well towards the end of the agenda this evening. Welcome. Thank you. 1.05 is receipt and presentation from the Elko High School Athletics Booster Club. Mr. Tierra.
Thank you.
My name is Drew Arrieta. I'm the president of the EHS Athletics Booster Club. And I'm here tonight just basically for an information for you guys. Back in March, we've kind of started working on a project to help fund the track and field project at Elko High School. So I know it's a small town and there's lots of rumors and probably a lot of different ideas thrown out there that what's being going on. But I've been in contact with Superintendent Anderson and Superintendent Krinka and Facilities Superintendent Stalke. And we're hoping to kind of work together with the district, the board, and our booster club to try to do a project at the Elko High School facilities for a new track. We haven't had a track meet since 2019. Our track's completely fallen apart. We can barely practice on it. And then in the midst of looking into that project, we decided you put a new track in and then say our field needs to be redone, then now you ruin your track to do the field. So the project's kind of grown. It's now a track, turf field, football field, soccer field combination, all new, brand new LED lights, a video scoreboard. And the reason that kind of got input is in amongst talking to potential donors and community members, the big question was, okay, say this is able to get funded, how are we going to maintain it? And so that's what the video board is about is we can do advertisement for businesses, local donors, and that money can then go into an account, and then 10, 12 years down the road when we need to resurface or repaint, the money's there and we're not coming back asking the board or the district for money. So, and then the last part of the project is closest to the school, which is the visitor side now. That should really be the home side. And so all new bleachers on that side to make that the home side of the field. So that's what the project entails at this point, is a new track, new field, new lights, video board, and bleachers. We're hoping to do most of the fundraising ourselves as our booster club. There's also some grant opportunities, and we're hoping maybe for some grant matching, but that's further down the line. But mainly I wanted to come to tonight and just let you know what we're doing. If you have any rumors or hearsay or questions about the project, I'm easy to get a hold of, so you can contact me anytime you'd like. Superintendent Anderson has my number, and we've talked through some things as well. And so I don't know if you have any questions tonight, or mainly it's just an information only, just to let you know that this is what we're doing, and you'll probably see me back in the future when that time comes. So.
Thank you very much, Drew.
All right, quick question too. I'm just looking, how much are you looking to raise? How close are you? And do you anticipate being able to meet those needs?
So the total cost of the project is probably going to be about $4 million.
Uh-huh.
So, we've gone through contractors, adding all these different components to it. So before I went out there and started my social media campaign and started doing all that type of stuff, I wanted to come to you guys first and let you know that, hey, this is what we're doing. So it wasn't like I was trying to go behind your back or there was some ulterior motive to how this is working. Like we just know the budget constraints that you guys are under. So whatever we can do to help make this project happen, it's going to be good for the community. Not only does Elko High School use it, but most citizens, you can't drive by that track in the summer without seeing somebody out there walking, running the bleachers, doing something. So we used to hold the senior games there. Special Olympics used to be held there. A lot of Relay for Lives used to be there. So it's more than just an Elko High School thing. It's a community thing. And then the other thing is build a state-of-the-art facility. Now we can host 1A, 2A, 3A football regional and state championships. We can host 1A, 2A, 3A soccer regional state championships. We can host 1A, 2A, 3A track regional and state championships. So that brings all of those schools to Elko, which is going to put people in hotels, restaurants, gas. So it's more than a high school thing. I think it's good for the district as a whole. It also allows for a place for Wells to host a track meet, right? They used to host their track meet in Elko every single year. And now they've been going to Spring Creek. They were in Windover last year. They kind of bounce around. Elko's more centrally located. So, I think it just adds opportunities for a centrally located state-of-the-art facility that all the district can benefit from. So
I'm glad to hear you're working on this. I'm all for it. I'm speaking for myself, obviously not for the board, but I'm all for it. And I know there's other communities here in our district that could use help with their tracks as well. And so any progress or anything like that, any breakthroughs you have on that, I'd love to hear about it. Just so
Sure.
if we can use that information to help other sites across the district too. And I can second the revenue aspect to the community and what you're talking about, because anytime they host, like, for example, basketball in Wendover, my business sees a huge increase
sure.
from stuff like that. And I know surrounding us too. So I think it's a great investment. I'd throw that out there if there's any stakeholders watching or listening. It's a great investment in the community because it isn't, of course, it helps for the kids, but it's good for revenue, for business, for all of the above. So please continue what you're doing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Just wanted to add too, excuse me, for the records that there's a lot of community organizations that use it as well for testing as well, right? So we've
Yes.
got the EPD does, sheriff's office, we have the fire department goes as well, so volunteer fire department. So that might be another, and if you haven't already, that might be another place, another avenue to try and find some funds too, because they're going to utilize it, or if they're going to utilize it here in the future.
Yeah, no,
So-
I plan on talking with the city and the county because they do utilize it. I work for the fire department, so yeah, we utilize it quite a bit. So we do a lot of our PT there, and then we do our testing there as well. So
Very good. And to piggyback on Jeff, I'm absolutely all for it. It's, the disrepair is pretty bad too as well. So, I mean, again, speaking for myself, not for the board, make sure we put that out there, but it's a great project and I can't wait to see where it goes for sure. So.
thank you.
I probably should have introed it, but thank you for coming, Drew. I asked him to come and let you guys know, and not only to dispel rumors or have you wonder like, hey, what's going on with this, but also I knew you would appreciate the opportunity to highlight our community figuring out solutions to a community problem. Lots of times, I've said this a bunch, like, we don't have school problems, we have community problems, right? An issue within our schools is an issue for our community, sometimes from the community, and we have to figure these things out together. And so I just really appreciated knowing that Drew was out there trying to figure something out, and I said, hey, why don't you come on into the offices, let's talk about how we can do this, because the more we got talking, like, there was stuff that I know about from a financing standpoint that he didn't even have on his radar, and there were connections that he had that I did not have, and the better we can put all those heads together, I think we're going to come up with a good solution. So I know I thanked you before, but I appreciate what you're doing, Drew, and I'm glad we're working together, and I'm glad y'all could get a glimpse in the early stages of what we're working on here. So thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. D'Arieta. And I appreciate, I'm going to echo again, speaking just for myself, but echo what's been said. I really appreciate the partnership throughout the community. That is what's needed to make us successful as a community. So thank you for going out and getting that. I also appreciate the administration from the high school being here, showing that they are aware of it, and I'm assuming they're probably in support of this as well. So thank you very much for the administration coming in as well. And I look forward to seeing progress and encourage all of the community to go ahead and get behind this the best they can. And hopefully we can get something going soon. Thank you for your time. If there's nothing further, then we will move to 1.06, which is receipt and presentation from Mound Valley and Sage Elementary Schools. This is another non-action item. Ms. Harris.
Good evening. I'm Jessica Harris, the principal at Sage and Mound Valley, for those of you that don't know me. Speaking of those community partnerships, that's what I'm here to share with you guys tonight. A few projects that have been completed at Sage as well as Mound Valley with the help of the community and really their doing. They came and asked me about these projects and approached me with them. Some of them are here tonight, and I'm going to give them a chance to come up and talk about because it was really their doing and their projects. I just wanted to showcase the work that they completed at both of the campuses and share that with you tonight. So at Sage, we had Home Depot and Ruby Rose Landscaping, and we all met on a Friday, and they donated all of their time, equipment, and all of the beautiful trees and flowers, and we planted 12 trees around our campus. So you can see some of the pictures through there of all of them and all of their hard work. And we had a little fun too on our day off, but it was great. The trees look awesome. They donated all the flowers for the front of the school. And then I'll share with you at Mound Valley through Kinross, Komatsu, and Home Depot, they repainted the entire school and resurfaced all of the playground equipment. So I would like to invite those community partners up here to share a little bit about what they did, why they did it, and the nitty gritty of all of their stuff. So if any of them, I don't know, Ken Ross, would you guys like to start?
Yeah, sure. Well, good morning or good evening, everyone. My name's Todd Lugan from Kinross, Nevada. I'm the frontline supervisor out there. This project came about a year and a half ago, driving back and forth to work, and we noticed that the slide at the school was covered up with the tarp. And I've been thinking to myself, well, something's wrong there. Broke, they need some help. And so we took it upon ourselves as a company and a big group of us being members of the community. We wanted to do something in return. So we got a hold of our community relations, Fallon, and presented it to her. She did all the legal paperwork for us to get going with everybody in Mountain Valley there. And so we decided to go for it and got the okay on the Mine Expo. So I started working on it. And my first stop was to my good friend Caleb over here at Home Depot and started talking to him, and he was on board. And then I got a personal friend of mine involved for some powder coating. And then I noticed the flagpole. It was a shame. And I was sad. So I went to Komatsu, said, hey, I need a flag. Can you help me out? He said, sure, let's see what we can do. So with everybody on the outside, plus everybody in our internal department, mine ops, maintenance, health and safety, which my wife is back there, part of health and safety. They all chipped in and donated money and paint and material to go to the school and put new siding, new paint, and redo all the wire wheeling on the school playground. And it took a total of 4 days to wire wheel that whole playground. It was horrible. But once it was done, I think it was a great project. And everybody from the mine site volunteered their time to come out and help wire wheel for 3-4 days, paint for 2 days, finish up for another touch up, stand the flag up, the flagpole up, and get the flag flying. And they were nice enough to leave that flag flying for a whole week. That way everybody can see it when they drove by. So that was awesome. Other than that, I can't wait to get involved again. This is my first year as a supervisor. I used to be boots on the ground, so I can't wait to get involved again with the school or any school or anybody out there, especially maybe his project too. I'll help him with some dirt work maybe, I don't know. But thank you and have a great night.
Very much. We appreciate
Thank
it.
you, Todd.
So Caleb is from Home Depot, and he was a part of both of the projects with his entire Home Depot crew that came out, planted trees at Sage, as well as worked at Mound Valley too. So thank you, Caleb.
Hello, everybody. My name is Caleb Heinrich. I'm the operations manager and the community captain at the Elko Home Depot here. Home Depot Corporate gives us the opportunity to partner with nonprofit organizations and request grants for various things in the community, whether it be veteran related or something for kids or homeless, whatever that may be. I'm the one that applies for those grants and partners with the nonprofits. This year, we've done 6 grant projects so far, a little over $50,000 in grants from Home Depot. So phenomenal year for us with that. But yeah, anything we can do, we'd like to for the community. We're always looking for something. So I appreciate the time and thank you guys.
This is Scott Manukian from Komatsu. They donated the flag at Mound Valley.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity to assist with the project. Through our Kinross team and business partners, they reached out to us and we were more than overjoyed to help with the flag. Ours was pretty simple. We use that road every day and it's good to see, put something back into the community that's meaningful. And we appreciate the opportunity and look forward to doing things like this in the future. So much appreciated. Thank you.
Oh, thank you all. There's more pictures in there. I'm sure you guys have access to them, but just wanted to share the great things that our community helps out with and the time that they spend in our schools. So thank you guys.
Anderson.
Yeah, can I say something real quick? So speaking of that road, so I mean, maybe shame on me that I didn't know this stuff had happened over the summer, but I got to see this on the first day of school when I was doing my tour of Elko County. As we came from Ruby Valley, and because normally when I go visit Mound Valley, I go from Spring Creek, and so I see the school whenever I come down that hill. But this time I was coming from Ruby Valley, so I'd come through Harrison Pass, and I came around the corner, and Hillary as my witness, I said, "Oh my gosh, the school looks so bright red. Like they must have had some stuff done." And we pulled up, and I was like, and the sets are like painted bright blue. I was like, the school looks incredible. It's the first thing I noticed as soon as we got within sight of the school. And so I had to start asking questions about how on earth did this happen? And so that was the first thing I wanted to say about it. And the second thing was, I met a gentleman early this morning, and I drove back from Vegas today to make sure I was here on time. But I was at an event in Vegas that had to do with some philanthropy for our students. And I brought something up to the guy that I met, and I was telling him, hey, this thing happened. And he sort of made this cynical comment of, man, organizations like that, and I'm not going to say who it was, they, whatever, you can pat them on the back, but they got to do that type of stuff. They have corporate responsibility things and whatever. And I was just like, what a cynical comment. And then to juxtapose his comment there with listening to all of you, not you, just you three, but our folks working on the track too. I'm like, there is no ulterior motive here. Nobody that's here today is here because they need to check a box about something. These are people that obviously care about our community. And like it's making me emotional. Y'all are so awesome, and I appreciate you doing that. It was a joy to round that corner and see the school that day, and see the kids' happy faces. And it's just as much to hear you passionately talk about, like, you just saw a problem, sir. You saw it driving down the street, and you said, "Man, let's do something about that." And like you care about our schools and our kids, even if you haven't met the kids, you care about the kids, and that much is obvious. So I appreciate you. Proven, because I was like, man, that dude was cynical. Like I really was, because I try to be optimistic and positive and assume the best in people. And you all proved me right today by coming here and talking about what you did. And thank you so much for supporting our schools and kids in our community. You're amazing. Thank you.
Any additional board comment? All right, I'm just going to throw out, and I don't mean this through hyperbole, but our community is amazing. And through our history, we have shown that. I'm not saying that these all rise up to the level of these examples, but Great Basin College was founded grassroots. Moving the train tracks, grassroots. The South Fork Reservoir, grassroots. California Trail Interpretive Center, grassroots. Grassroots is what keeps this community vibrant, and it's folks that, like you all from Home Depot, Kinross, Komatsu, the Booster Club, people in our community do an amazing job. So thank you all very much. Thank you for taking the leadership and the ownership. We greatly appreciate it. And it helps us to be able to focus where we can when we know that you guys are taking care of other issues, and not to place the burden on everyone, but we have restrictions, and being able to know what you guys are doing and what you guys are capable of is amazing. Keep it up, and thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Mr. Chair,
Please.
I just want to say thank you. It's awesome to see a need and then just say, hey, let's make this happen. You're my kind of people. So thank you. It's great to see, Sage and Mound Valley, all those things happening in different communities in our district. So thank you for your work, and thank you for offering to continue to contribute to the community, because we do have a lot of needs, and love it that you're just like, let's do this. So thank you.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it. All right. Go
Just
ahead,
to
please.
echo too, just another thank you from me, you guys, all of you, that just with so much dark in the world right now, and seeing the light come through here is just amazing. It is making me a little too. Thank you guys so much.
All right. Seeing no additional comments from the board, we will now move to our consent agenda. For the record, thank you again very much, folks. For the record, within item 2.04, the contract for Zoe Lindbergh has been removed. That should not impact the remainder of the consent. And with that, I am happy to hear the pleasure of the board.
Move to approve the consent agenda.
It's been motioned and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Chair votes aye, motion passes. 3.01 is receipt, review, and possible approval of proposed revisions to policy JGDB, student welfare, student transportation, safety programs, school buses. And at the pleasure of the board, I'm also going to introduce 3.02, receipt, review, and possible approval of proposed revisions to policy JGD, student welfare, student transportation, also for possible action. That introduction is just so that we can discuss both and possibly have one motion if that is the pleasure of the board. With that, do we have anything for Mr. Canning, or does Mr. Anderson want to open this up?
Yeah, I can go ahead and take it. So just by way of note, so we talked about this 2 weeks ago. Just want to address, there was a suggestion made by Trustee Dastrup about some nuance with exit doors versus exits. I let her know that it says exit doors because that is verbatim how it reads in NRS, and she said she's satisfied with not making that change. We're also open to making the change if people are passionate about it, but that's why so I just want to make sure like we didn't, we're not ignoring the suggestion. It's just that's the justification for not making any other change to that. And then, so I caught you're doing both items right now?
At the pleasure of the board, but yes, I think go ahead and continue with your
Okay.
your explanation on the next item, please.
Yeah, and then the other comment was that the change that Susan suggested to make sure the two policies both read the same way in regards to evacuation. So that was not on the initial read. The initial read was for the good of the board to consider and for community participation in the conversation. But then upon having it there, as Susan's always very thorough, just like you all are, and we found that was a suggestion. So since we'd already had it up for first read, instead of bringing it back a month later, having to do first read again, we figured it would be a good time to make that change. So that's the other recommendation, but that was not there last time. So I just want to point that out. And I don't think I have anything else to add to what has already been reviewed.
Mr. Chair, I move to approve policy JGDB, and policy JGD.
Second.
Thank you very much. There's a motion on the floor with proper second. Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Chair votes aye as well. Motion passes. 3.03 is receipt, review, and possible approval of Indian policies and procedures for impact aid funding purposes. This is an annual agenda item to approve the application for relief under the impact aid and authorize the superintendent to act as our representative. And the item falls under Pillar 1, students prepared for the future. Ms. Turnihue.
Good evening, Mrs. Turnihue, the Director of Elementary Education. I'd like to talk to you about the recent updates to our Indian policies and procedures. Thank you to Megan Cox and Robin Gowan. In partnership with the Department of Education, we've completed a significant revision. Our IPP is still built around the 6 core policies mandated by law, but our goal was to make it clearer and more collaborative. So to do that, we improved the formatting in our IPP, we sharpened the language, and then we also doubled the feedback time given to our tribal partners. We sent this new IPP out to our tribal colonies on August 21st, and then we also presented it to our Title VI Indian Parent Advisory Committee on September 2nd, asking for input. And to this date, we still haven't received any input. So tonight, I'm presenting it to you and asking for your approval.
Mr. Chair, I move to approve.
Second.
Thank you very much. Any discussion?
Just thank you for the work you've done to make improvements and to really reach out and try to get feedback. That's really great. So thank you. That's it.
You're welcome.
Thank you as well. Seeing no other discussion, all in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Chair votes aye as well. Motion passes. Thank you, Mrs. Turnihue. We now move on to 4.01, Superintendent's Report.
Already on. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So just some things to fill you in on. Let's see. Sorry, I got things written down a couple places. You will see attached on this item a letter from Communities and Schools. So I just to draw your attention to it if you hadn't seen it yet. And within that letter, it talks about both a thank you for the contributions that the district makes. And just as a reminder, the way Communities and Schools works is we contribute kind of like a match with them, where in order to have a Communities and Schools kind of representative at a certain campus, there's a process to establish what the need is there. And then Communities and Schools does the legwork to try to find donor money from their many different folks that do that. And they come to us when they feel like they have enough. And, you know, if they're able to provide that, are we able to match that in order to put those at our schools? And so we do not have a Communities and Schools kind of position at every single school, but the ones we do have is thanks in part to all the work they do. So we're constantly trying to expand that program in as much as it's needed. And worth mentioning is when schools don't have like a dedicated position to that, they're still able to access the resources of Communities and Schools through just communicating with them. So we have a good little process there, but we're constantly reevaluating what those needs are at every campus. And so just really grateful to Communities and Schools for their support. It's funny when they give me a letter thanking us, I'm like, oh, shoot, just thank you. It's a great relationship. They're wonderful, and really appreciate them. So just want to draw your attention to that. Then also just give you a couple updates from our recent NASB meeting, which is our, as a reminder for others, that's the Superintendent's Association for Nevada. We got to hear a bit from Interim State Superintendent Steve Canavero. He let us kind of gave us an update on the challenges they're having with the cyber security attack that they've endured, and it's not just NDE. It was the whole state government, right? So they're still progressively, gradually working through things. And he let us know kind of areas where that impacts us as a school district. They were able to still get us our per pupil allocation for the month. And so things have moved forward there, but there are other processes like our kindergarten testing and other things that have been slowed down a bit. So, but I will say that they have done just a phenomenal job of keeping us informed, even if the news isn't great news or it means nothing's changed. They're doing a good job of being transparent and communicating with us, and so we're grateful for that. A couple other things to just keep on in mind for the horizon, kind of in the near future. If you haven't noticed, the state is, so I mentioned he is interim State Superintendent Ken Navarro. He did that job a while back, and they brought him in to kind of a la Jeff Zander here a little, those years ago. So they are actively searching for a new state superintendent. And so if you want to be aware, involved of that decision, there's a lot going on there. They've kind of narrowed down that pool to the final handful of candidates. And so I encourage you to look into that. And of course, I'll keep you updated. But that should be coming, in the next month or two. And then also anticipating some changes to state testing in the near future. The state Board of Education authorized the usage of iReady as an alternative to the NWEA MAP test for growth metrics. We are sticking with NWEA right now because it's provided by the state for free, and so we don't have to pay for anything. But that could be changing in the near future, and so we're trying to keep an eye on what that's looking like. And will we continue with MAP? Will we want to make a change to something else in the near future? But we'll let you know there. And then likewise, so that's the formative or the growth testing. The state is also restarting the process for looking at a new summative test. So just letting you know, I think you already know my thoughts on most testing in general, and what I think its value is and what it's good for. I certainly don't believe it's good for determining whether a school's a good school or not a good school, but I think there are things that can be drawn from those metrics. And so as long as we're going to be accountable for them, I want you to be aware of those changes that are going on. So those things are coming down the pipe as well. I want to do a shout out and a thank you to Dr. Gorski, who was up here, and everybody who's involved in this panel. I like how you I noticed how you accidentally said debate, and you're like, it's not going to be a debate, right? Like it's a panel. To I just think that given recent events, like the importance of us being able to just have conversations and not necessarily debates, right? But just have good conversation. The timing for, I mean, obviously, the tragic events are not good timing, but I'm currently reading a book called A Search for Common Ground. And the entire book is an exchange of letters between people of very differing opinions on education in America. And it was taking place kind of just leading into COVID and then during COVID. And it's been almost like healing to listen to these two very educated, very opinionated folks on education in America and what our kids actually need. But the level of respect and deference and understanding and willingness to look into other perspectives is great, and it's awesome. And I think it's so important that we can maintain that ability to respectfully disagree, to have differing opinions, but also not to just go into it thinking we respectfully disagree, right? To go into it with an open mind of how can I help understand, like even if I disagree with you, I want to understand where you're coming from. Like that's where the magic happens, I think, is when we try to understand each other. And so, I've always appreciated that about this board, is that I get to talk to you all on a very individual basis. And I know how a lot of opinions differ, but I also appreciate the way you work together. You work with me, and we can be human with each other. So just wanted to bring that up. I appreciate how you go about your business and working with me on those things. And then a few other things just to let you know about. We had the agri-science building opening last Wednesday. It was awesome. It was great. We had some great visitors. We had our is he the director, JJ Goycochea? Yeah, he's the director of the Nevada Department of Ag. He was there, made the trip out to come be with us, and we had county commissioners. We had our Elko mayor even went out there, and just folks from all over to celebrate and support the opening of that building, and it looks great. Building's in great shape, and yeah, really happy that opened. And we also had a visit from an on-site visit from Lexia last week, who came to just kind of take a pulse of how things are going with the implementation. We did kind of tell them, hey, we can't, like, there's so much that goes on the first weeks of school with baseline testing, with MAP and all that, and new science curriculum, and let's just like take a minute. But they've been very hands-on with working with Candace and our directors, and working with the site principals to make sure they're getting them the professional development they need. And we've already started to hear some good stories from principals about how teachers are liking Lexia. And so it was just encouraging to know that sometimes you worry when you engage in a contract with someone, like, what's the support going to be like after? And they've been, from before the contract was signed to just the other day, and they've been very supportive. And you know, obviously we're going to be keeping a close eye on the progress that's happening, and we let you know, we give you some reports. Nothing to report from that standpoint yet, because we haven't really got into it, but glad to see the support. And then we also had a visit last week from two individuals from the Governor's Office of Economic Development. They came, they'd heard good things about our Star Academy over at Adobe Middle School. I'd mentioned that we were hoping to get another academy this year. I was apparently overly optimistic at the time, but they're still considering it, and they wanted to come out and have some people kind of go through and ask questions and see the classes in action and really get an understanding for what the program entails. And so we were able to host them for a couple of hours over at Adobe and have a good debrief with them. And I mean, I can't anticipate what they're going to do or not do, but the visit went well, and they were impressed with the good work our teachers are doing. And then again, speaking of support, our friends from NOLA Education, who are the ones who have the Star Academy, they sent two representatives out to be with us on that day and to support us in that way. And as a reminder too, that they are in our school every single month. They come out from New Orleans at least once a month to support Adobe in the efforts they're making with the Star Academy. So it's a good partnership. It's a great partnership. And so I think that's plenty. I talked a lot, unless anyone has questions for me, but lots going on, lots of good stuff. And there's like a big thing that I didn't even talk about. I alluded to the fact that I was in Vegas this morning, but we're going to save that for our next board meeting, where it's going to be more relevant to talk about. So yeah, cool things happening.
Thank you, CJ. Questions for our superintendent? All righty, then we will move to 5.01. This is the opportunity for our NASB representative, Trustee Neal, to give any updates.
Okay. There was a board meeting September 5th. A reminder to sign up for the December conference early if you plan on attending. They also asked if there were any vendors that work in our district that we can recommend. Tom will follow through with contacting them to sponsor NASB, so you can either send them to me or send them directly to Tom if you guys have something you're really interested in. There'll be a new commission on recruitment and retention. So they'll be sending out interest email, I guess. And I'm not sure how long, he didn't give me a timeline, but so if anybody is interested in serving on that, when that email comes out, make sure you follow up on that. They approved contracts for Tom and Rick, so they will be with us in this upcoming year. Yay. They made some changes in language and some dates to Articles 7 and 8 of our bylaws. Diane gave a legislative update, and I've sent you some info on that. She also talked a bit about AB 527 with cameras like on bus arms. She said, I don't know what district it was. I can't remember what district it was, but they were talking about how many people do not stop when the buses' lights are flashing or and the signs out and everything, so. And then the budget was, it's still doing okay. Tom, he was within like $100 and some of revenue, like, man, that man had it down. Yeah, he is, he is. And then one last thing, I will be the Nevada School Board representative on the Board of Education. That was my
Awesome.
news over the weekend. So that's all I have.
Thank you very much. Questions regarding NASB? All right, then we will go to 5.02 items from the board members. And we'll go ahead and start to my right with Ms. Stanfill, and that gives student trustee Lamar the time to gather whatever thoughts she may have so that we can finish down towards that end. Trustee Stanfill.
A couple weeks ago, we went to Las Vegas, a few of us, and for a workshop, really interesting and fun. I like those. I really enjoyed them. And one thing that this one's different, like I got to know more of us here, to know where they came from, their backgrounds, and how we're different. But here we come together, and it's for the students, for our kids, and that's awesome. And another thing, stars, please go and submit your nominations. And the community there is awesome too. We get donations and gift cards, flowers for teachers, for staff members, and just go nominate our awesome teachers and staff. That's it.
Thank you, Adriana. Trustee Byers.
A couple things. So we traveled to Vegas. That was great. Was there 4 of us there, which actually worked out good for the class. So I really enjoyed that and getting to know these guys a little bit more. I might have piggybacked and saw a couple shows, but it was good. Ate some good food. So it was good. And then I'd be remiss if I didn't, ironically, chiropractic's birthday is celebrated September 18th. So we've been doing it in the office. We've been celebrating it that way, but just letting people know, kind of an exposure thing. So, but September 18th is the officially recognized date. And then the projects that we have here in the community come together. It's great. It's great to see. I just wanted to kind of further that it's amazing to see in those areas. And I just encourage more people to do it. That's how we get things done. That's how Elko gets things done. And so thank you so much to everybody who put time in there. I know there's some other folks that were part of that project that have moved on to other things, and they were happy to do it because they were part of other groups that I'm in. And so it was a full community, and it was full from the heart. Don't need anything back other than just for a good space for kids. So that's cool. Excited about the EHS stuff too as well. The track has been a mess for a while, and so having that and having organizations come together, that's going to be cool. So yeah, and I think that's all I have. So.
Thank you very much, Dr. Josh. Trustee Durham.
A lot I want to say. I'm going to keep it short. Just hug your kids, talk to them, know where they are, know what they're doing. Our class there on conflict resolution and de-escalation was really, really good. It was a good reinforcement. There's a lot of good things to come from that, but the bottom line, all that is talk to people. Don't let opportunities pass you by to not, because you don't know when those opportunities will be there. So talk to your kids. That's all I have.
Thank you very much, Jeff. Appreciate it. Trustee Neal.
I too enjoyed that workshop. There was a building a better leader session, and they work on soft skills in education. And I was looking at his website, and they have several activities you can sign up for free, which I thought was interesting to know. So I'm going to start looking at those just for fun, because I always have to pass them along to my teacher friends. So that was good in the conflict resolution as well. We did a lot of hands-on activities, which was nice because it was better than just sitting there. Sometimes it's a little boring if you're just sitting there and no action, so that part was great. It was fun to go to the opening of the Agri Science building, so there was so much support there, and that was so good to see. So thank you to everyone that made that happen. Also, I've been going to a few PTA meetings, and just a reminder, they do such good work and support the school so much. So if you, even as a member of the public, even if you don't have children in school like myself, join a PTA. Like, they can always use an extra hand for one activity or something, but just a shout out to them. They really make a difference. Thank you to our student board member. And then after hearing everything from earlier in the meeting, I'm so proud of our community. Like, it just makes your heart like, oh, like, and it's one thing when everybody comes together and starts volunteering to do things. That's the one area where it's cool to be contagious. So I think it just, you hear somebody doing something, oh, I can help out with that. So we've really seen that start to happen. And so that's a great thing for all of our communities.
Thank you, Susan. Trustee Destrup.
Thank you. Well, first, I want to congratulate Susan on being a voice for school boards as well as rural Nevada on the State Board of Education. I think she's going to be amazing, and it's great to have, her right here. So not only us, but anybody in the community that has an interest in the State Board of Education, what's going on, we have a voice that's from Elko County, right here on that board. So thank you for being willing. I was very supportive when they were asking for, nominees, and I was like, Susan would be fantastic. So we're excited to have her there. Also, if you have any interest in who the finalists are for the state superintendent, it's been fun to work with Dr. Steve Canavero on a commission I'm on. He's just one that's like, well, what can we do? Can we do that right now? Is there a law that stops us from doing that right now? And I love that. And so I'm hoping that the candidates that are being considered by the governor right now have that same mind for Nevada education. And if you want to know, they are Dr. Sylvia Mitchell, Dr. Heather Sanchez, and Dr. Victor Wakefield. And the governor, as in accordance with NRS, will appoint one of those individuals sometime soon. And last, it was awesome to be at the Agri-Science building ribbon cutting. It is so fun to see students just engaged in their learning. The kids were there, they prepared the meal, they were, up there speaking, talking about the building, talking about the classes they get to take. I'm seeing one of our past students that the performing arts building has made a big difference in his life. And I just love to see kids just excited about learning. And when we can put classes, buildings, programs, whatever, in front of our kids that make them excited about being at school, we are doing good things. So congratulations to everybody that made that building happen, and other projects in Elko County. We can do a lot of great things together when we work together. So that's all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Teresa. And finally, Trustee Samar. I guess almost finally, I'll wrap it up. But
So Elko High School is in the midst of their homecoming week, and so there are a bunch of dress-up days and after school and during lunch activities. So I think today was a car bash, I think. So it was something that we do every year. We hit the car. I don't know if it's fun. I've never done it myself, but I think it's fun. And maybe I should have. Oh wait, this is my last year. Just kidding. Okay, but I know we did have a spirit day, dress up day. I think it was twin day. I think that's always a fun thing to do. Especially as a senior, it's my last year to do something like this because I'm going to college, and I don't think there are going to be dress up days in college. But make one in our heads. But yeah, we have our bonfire coming up on Thursday, and then the Powder Puff game, which is always fun to see. And then we have the varsity playing against South Tahoe Vikings on Friday. So that's gonna be fun to watch too. The band will be playing halftime. So if you guys want to watch, you guys can always feel free to watch on halftime. And then homecoming, of course, is on Saturday. But yeah, everyone's really excited with this week. Even though it's like really hectic, I think it really brings people together because usually during school you're just like dreading all the homework and stuff. But having stuff like dress up days and like a bunch of activities makes it a lot more fun and engaging. Yeah. Oh, and one more thing. I'd like to really thank all of you for supporting this high school marching band and granting and funding all of us because it was as a freshman, it was really tiny. The band was like at least like 50 people, and now it's like twice its size, which means like there's like more equipment that we need and uniforms and stuff like that. So all the funding that's going towards that is really helpful and has helped us a lot and has made our experience a lot more better and fun. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much. We appreciate your comments and thank you for being here. All right, I'm going to wrap this up and try to be somewhat concise. I also wanted to comment on the agri-science building. It was great to see Dr. Goicoechea and hear his comments on being able to, the state of Nevada is looking into and almost finalizing the ability to certify agricultural products within the state that will carry the same certifications as USDA. Working at the senior center, that is amazing because that means that we could literally have products that we are serving at the senior center that were grown by our neighbors and possibly even by our members. So that is really amazing from the ability to have farm to table right in our own community is amazing. So I'm really excited to hear about that.
Mr. Chair, can I back?
Please.
I just want to piggyback on that just because it just pops in my head. Vermont currently has a 2-year backlog for animal processing. So this is huge in that. And when you said that at Sparked, I just saw a whole article on it. And so they're trying to figure out how to get it. And as a state, they might be pushing back on the federal government saying, well, we're just going to certify our state because it's so the fact that we can do it and we can get these kids soon, it's a huge deal, which was something that we said when we first started this project. So I'm so sorry I interrupted you, but it just popped in my head when we were saying it. So
absolutely. I think our CTE program has been strong for years, and this is just one more way of emphasizing that and giving our students that ability. Speaking of our students, one of our administrators, Miss Sally McDermott at Spring Creek Middle School, spoke at the Agri-Science building and talked about how her involvement in the FFA program impacted her. A number of years later, here she is a principal within our own district. And so again, what our students can do through our educational system, I think is great. I know that oftentimes there are many things that we need to work on, but we don't celebrate, I think, the celebrations or the positivity enough. So thank you very much for those that helped bring that building to fruition. One of the things also on CTE that I wanted to comment on, again, through community partnership, and I should have mentioned this earlier, but in Wells, at Wells High School, the students came together and worked with Empire Cat to be able to create a new to emphasize and enhance their field, their track field, having a new long jump pit and a discus shot put platform. There's a term for that, and I apologize for not knowing what that is. No offense to our track stars. But again, it's CTE students coming together, helping their school with community partners, and so I greatly appreciate that. Finally, one additional shout out again for Constitution Day Forum on the 18th, 6 o'clock. September 18th. Want to make sure I'm very clear on that. This Thursday in 2 days, that's right, at the Elko High School Performing Arts Building, 6 p.m. I've been involved in kind of the political circle for 20-ish years. I don't know that we have had the Democrat Party, the Independent American Party, and the Republican Party come together and co-sponsor something. And that's, I think that says a lot. To be able to have folks come together purposefully and to support this jointly, I can't stress that enough. We know what's happening in our society, in our country, and I encourage everyone, please tune into the radio, or better yet, come and see how our community leaders within those parties are able to discuss the issues, particularly because those questions are provided, many of those questions, not all those questions will be provided by our students within our district. So I think that's pretty cool, and I appreciate the students who have taken the time to do that, as well as the administrators that have been able to facilitate that. With that, I will go ahead and close out board comments, and we will go back to, nope, we won't go back to, we will go 6.01, which is the approval of the accounts payable.
Move to approve.
Second.
There is a motion and second. Are we approving all of them, or are we splitting the two documents?
We're splitting.
Okay, we'll split. So this will be only the accounts payable then.
Move to
Trustee?
approve the accounts payable.
Perfect. And it's been seconded, remains or stays. Any discussion? Okay, there's a question.
I do have a question. Grease traps, is that just something random? Do you know? Like it was everywhere. So is that like something regularly I've never seen? Or we just decided this year? It was the equivalent of like 25K. So I just,
Yeah, I'll have to get back to you on that. Yeah, let me find out for you.
I'm gonna jump in just peripherally, have no idea what happens at the district level. Quarterly at the senior center, we are required to empty our grease traps.
Yeah.
Runs about $450 for our one single kitchen.
Yeah.
And so that is, let me rephrase that. I don't know that it's required, and Nevada Department of Health, it is required. I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying
Yeah,
I
no,
can't
you're good.
say for sure that
I
it
was
is
just wondering, it just was
required.
like the equivalent of like,
Yeah. It's-
whatever. 20 some odd thousand, $26,000 worth of thing for grease traps. And I was like, that seems weird.
I can speak
I was gonna
to
say
it.
Jeff definitely
Yep.
has some experience with grease traps as well.
That's a normally service thing.
I've never seen it on here. That's
Two
what I'm saying.
baffles,
And it's a
water will
ton.
flow underneath, grease rises to the top and it's
I'm not saying
trapped.
someone's like,
Turns into the
I'm just
biggest.
trying to understand, because
Yeah.
I inevitably on Thursday, I'm gonna be
Well-
at a lunch and someone's gonna ask me about grease traps
It
and why
turns
we
into
did
the
all of
biggest.
them at the same time. And so I was,
It turns into the biggest, smelliest chunk
Oh, yeah,
of
for sure. It's
whatever you
gross.
can imagine. And then it's worse than that. And so that the price is
Know where my
listed there
you know where my office
with the
is, right?
travel is, yeah, I understood. And
There's-
I'm wondering if they do theirs, but that's normally a yearly maintenance item.
Every single person here
depending-
knows who I'm talking about. So like, except for out here. But anyway, so.
Depending on the grease trap, it's a yearly maintenance usually
Okay.
on something like that.
I-
And those prices for the size of kitchen are within a reasonable
Appreciate that.
price on
So,
what a
you don't have to
government
really
would pay
worry.
for
I
it.
was trying to just ask, because again, it's
I
like.
hear what
one-
you're saying. You haven't noticed it before,
Yeah.
so okay, I got you.
I do want to say, and this is a comment, that it was good to see food actually being bought by, and then we had the grapes and whatnot. I mean, it was a big, and whether that's just because we're itemizing them differently and I didn't see it, but it's good to see actual like food as opposed to food product. I'm assuming being put out by the food services, so.
No, that was fun though. I saw the grease traps too. And
Yeah.
it was 2,700 for the Wendover sites versus 16 and 1,700 for the others. And
Yeah.
it's going to be travel for a truck.
No,
and-
totally, like, again, I'm not saying, hey,
Yeah.
you need to look into this. I'm just like,
But it's
how often do you think?
it's a fair price, about every year.
Okay.
It should be done every year, at least every year.
And that could be an indicative of new accounting, like, that's fine.
But a lot of that has to do with the capacity, the size of the grease trap, how much it'll hold and.
Good.
Thanks.
Thank you. Any additional comments on the,
Mr. Chair, I'd
Payables.
like to disclose that I have a family member who is employed by Wells Rural Electric, but I will not be abstaining.
thank you very much. Any further disclosures? All right, then motion on the table is to approve the accounts payable. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, chair votes aye as well. Motion passes. There's one remaining.
Move to approve the lone wolf.
Second.
Second.
Perfect. Couple of seconds. Any discussion?
I have to disclose that I work for Lone Wolf, so I will be abstaining from voting.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Motion on the table. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Chair votes aye as well. Motion passes. Now we will return to public comment. This is 7.01. Any input from the public? Seeing none, then we will adjourn.
Can I say
Oh,
one
please.
thing real quick?
Yes, sir.
I forgot to mention it during my superintendent report, but I want to, just like we acknowledge Susan, in your new position with the State Board of Ed, Cassie Stalkey, our CFO, Chief Financial Officer, was appointed to the State Commission on School Funding. So we have a representative from Elko on that very important commission. So yeah, I think that's important to call out. And she's amazing already in just, what is this, her second year as CFO? She has some, I don't know, notoriety probably isn't the right word, but like she is well known among the folks in the finance world of education in Nevada. So she's doing great and glad that she's representing us there. So throw that up.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And in October, our first meeting is going to be outside of Elko, and I am spacing completely where it's supposed to be. Owyhee, that's right. So the 7th of October, we will be in Owyhee, and we look forward to going to the home of the Braves and encourage anyone that would like to travel to come with us. So with that, we stand in adjournment, and we will see you all next month or sooner, maybe at Thursday's Constitution event. Thanks so much and have a great day.